Where did you find that?
Etsy. We love Etsy. Etsy. E-T.
Oh,
and
E.T.
major.
Okay. Lucky, I'm watching my
Are we ready?
language these
Tim,
days.
tell us when.
Good morning. Welcome to Harmony Spiritual Center. Please join us this morning for our opening song. Please stand and join us, whether you're home or whether you're here. What a wonderful morning, beyond compare. I feel God's loving presence everywhere, and I am filled with joy profound. In a world where many miracles abound, in the garden of my soul, I am happy, healed, and whole. I know that God is good and all is well. What a wonderful morning, yeah, beyond compare. Move around a little bit. I feel God's loving presence everywhere, and I am filled with joy profound. In a world where many miracles abound, in the garden of my soul, I am happy, healed, and whole. I know that God is good and all is well. In the garden of my soul, I am happy, healed, and whole. I know that God is good and all is well. In the garden of my soul, I am happy, healed, and whole. I know that God is good and all is well. Woo! Don't forget, you can download the PowerPoint from the Facebook posts, and it has all the words in it.
Good morning and welcome to Harmony Spiritual Center's Sacred Sunday Service. My name is Connie Anderson and I am a board member. And if you're new here to our center or to New Thought, we teach a practical spirituality of joyous inclusion, spiritual enlightenment, and life transformation following the principles and practices of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, founders of Unity, and Ernest Holmes, founder of Science of the Mind. We believe that all are connected to one spirit, Mother, Father, God, or whatever you call that which is greater than yourself. We know we can manifest our best lives when we learn and take action on our beliefs and principles. All is in divine right timing and order in life, whether current circumstances support in that view or not. Therefore, rest assured you will receive whatever you came here for today. And so it is. Thank you for being here. Harmony exists everywhere as an entity of itself. Our personal attitudes bring the disharmony to a situation. An attitude of love can bless all situations and all people. The converse is likewise true. We all desire harmony in our relationships, and we will find it every time we bring an attitude of honest gratitude into a situation. How we feel today about this person or that situation reflects the strength of our relationship with our God. When we experience life in the company of our higher power, we will let life flow. We will observe harmony then, even in the midst of indifference. All of life's elements are moving toward a state of total and perfect harmony. We need not fear. We can trust the company of our higher power. Of our higher power, we will let life flow. No. And know that in every situation, no matter how adverse its appearance, is contributing to a harmonious outcome if we but lend a trusting attitude. Harmony is everywhere. I will celebrate it. I will trust the present, and I will trust the future. Now let's do our affirmation. Affirming that Spirit is our source, the purpose of Harmony Spiritual Center is to be joyously inclusive, spiritually enlightening, and life-transforming. The principles of Harmony Spiritual Center are inclusiveness, integrity, humility, compassion, transparency, and generosity.
And please join us for our chant. The chant today is Lead Me to the Light. Lead me to the light. Lead me to the light. Help me to make it through. Lead me into the light. Eyes. Make my eyes to see all that I can be. Help me to see it through. Lead me into the light. Turn my night to day. Take the hurt away. Help me to be with you. Lead me into the
And as we move into our meditation, on Friday, we lost two great Americans, C.T. Vivian and John Lewis. Two men who demonstrated light and love. So as we breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in light and breathe out light. Breathe in love. Breathe out love. Breathe in peace and breathe out peace. And as we continue to breathe, focus on your heart, because the heart is where our inner peace, our inner love, and our inner light, that's where it resides. The God in each one of us is in our heart. So as we demonstrate these qualities of light and love and peace, let us do this on a daily basis. Let's let go of differences of opinion. Let's embrace each other because we are all one. God is in each one of us. God is light. God is peace. God is love. And each one of us, we get to choose to be God in action. So this week, be God in action with light, love, and peace. And so it is. Amen.
Hello, everybody. Hey, I'm Jason Earl. I have here on my right, if you guys can see him, this is my son, Sean. We're going to do a song that was started with the lyrics by Grandma, my mom, the Reverend Christine G. Reisman. It's called Let Me Make a Joyful Noise. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me make a joyful noise. Let me serve you with my singing. Let me help your children praise your name in song. Let me make a joyful noise. Let me serve you with my music. Let my life be one sweet hymn of praise to you. Let me make a joyful noise. You have given me my song. You have written all my music, and the anthems that I sing are yours alone. When my earthly song is sung, let me join your heavenly choir. Let me sing your praise for all eternity. Let me make a joyful noise. Let me make a joyful noise. Let me help your children sing. Let my life be one sweet hymn. Let me join your heavenly choir. Let me make a joyful noise. Let me make a joyful noise. Let me serve you with my singing. Let me help your children praise your name in song. Let me make a joyful noise. Let me serve you with my music. Let my life be one sweet hymn of praise to you. Let me make a joyful noise. Let me make a joyful noise. A joyful noise. A joyful noise. A joyful noise.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. It's right in line with the talk today, and you'll see the connection in a moment. Thank you, Jason, calling, asking me, what are you talking about, PJ? Let me make sure that I'm in line with what you're doing, and I love that. So thank you so much. My name is Reverend Pjae Stanley, and you are here at or listening to online Harmony Spiritual Center here in Fort Worth. You are welcome here. Thank you for being here. So last week we talked about seeing it right. And I talked about a little bit, just recap what we did last week to see the continuation of what we're talking about here. Because again, as Connie talked about this morning, we are a center that helps you have the best life you want to claim. And so all of our talks are about our principles and practices and beliefs that allow us to do that. And hopefully they make sense over time as well. So last week we talked about seeing it right. And seeing it right is about changing your perspective. Because again, if you ask any police officer taking information at an accident scene, there will be several different perspectives of where high and low level, where someone saw based on who they are and their background and experiences. But we have all these complex beliefs, principles, and background experiences that have us see something in a certain way. And we get to change our perspective if we believe that's going to help us have the life we're claiming right now. And there are 4 ways in which we do this. One is that we see what the motivator is. There is a motivator for any change you want to have. That motivator is either you are moving away from something or you're moving towards something. Moving away from something because you no longer want it in your life, or you're moving towards something because you want it in your life. Those are the 2 motivators that need to be present in order for any change to happen in your life. You have to have this desire for something or to leave something. We have to surrender. That's number 2. We surrender, which means simply you're saying to yourself and out loud and to spirit, I don't know what to do next. And you're just opening yourself. By surrendering, you're opening yourself and allowing something new to come in, right? We're allowing something new to come in. The third thing is that when we open up, then something new comes in and we learn something new, something different, a different perspective, a different way to see things, right? Because we talked about the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and wanting something different to appear. Well, the only way something different is going to appear is if you do something different. You can only do something different if you know something different, right? That's number 3. And the 4th thing is take action. We are a community that talks about how we live. It's an action word. Live our lives. We claim our lives. That's an action word on your part, what you get to do. So those are the 4 things we talked about. And the question is, why would you want to see it right? What is the point of the value? The point of the value is because we believe and we get to co-create our lives. We don't come here with a master plan other than to say you are able and capable with your thoughts to create the life you have right now isn't what you want. You can evolve and change to something different. That's what we get to do. Create and evolve. And that is why we want to know about how to change our perspectives, because it allows something new to come in. That's what we talked about last week. And what we believe, as Connie shared with us this morning, what we believe is God is. That's here. That's always here, and it has a ... because what it means is endless, abundant. God is source. Everything comes from God. And supply. Everything you need comes from God. God is source and supply. And the other thing I want you to know is that God, when we speak of God, Spirit, whatever that name is, for me it's George. That's just because that's how I speak. Because I talk to Spirit all the time and I want to give it a name. It just makes it more personalized for me. It doesn't matter. It may not work that way for you. But God is not an entity. It is not some bearded person in the sky with a tablet judging you. God is law. So when we talk about co-creating our life with God, we're talking about co-creating God with the law of God, the principle of God. And the principle and the law of God is yes. Whatever you're thinking or asking for, the law simply says yes. Now here's what I mean. If you plant a seed in the ground does not say, oh, I don't like the color of this seed. I don't like what this seed's about to become. I'm not in the mood for this seed, right? No, right? None of that happens. It just does what it does. A seed goes in, that's the fertile ground, and what the seed is going to become, it comes out of that soil. That is what the law is. There's no judgment. There's no saying, well, I don't think that's going to work for you. I don't think it's a good idea. None of that. Whatever you're thinking, whatever you're focusing on, the law says yes. So know that. That gives you more control over your life. So that's what we believe. God is source and supply. God is universal law, not an entity. You co-create your life with God, and our thoughts become manifest. Everything in the manifest universe came first from a thought. Okay? This is not here unless someone thought to create this. All of this. You, your parents, had a thought, a twinkle in their eyes, and here you come. Right? Everything starts with a thought. Our thoughts are powerful. So to claim your life, you change your perspective, see it right, one of the ways, and we're just putting toolboxes in our tool chest so that because our lives are complex. There's a lot we need to know, and over time, we're going to know everything we need. But right now, this is what I'm talking about, changing your perspective last week. So this is how we co-create and claim our lives. Now today, what I want to talk to you about, the talk title is Your Walk is Your Worship. Your walk is your worship. And when I'm talking about worship, I'm not talking about the worship idea that I grew up with in a fundamental church, which is fine. There's no problem. There's no judgment there. I'm saying it's different. That's all I'm saying. Worship, what we're talking about is love, celebration. Worship is a celebration of life. Worship is a declaration of your life. And worship is your prayer. Because what you pray and the universe says yes to is what you become, is how your life unfolds, yeah? So your life is your worship, meaning what you're praying about shows up in your life. And you can know what you worship by what you're thinking. If thoughts are prayers, and they are, and let me say this, not every random thought. I'm talking about the thoughts that you focus on, the thoughts that are your reality. If you keep saying to yourself, I am worthy, those are your thoughts. The universe says yes, you indeed are. If your thoughts are, I am so unworthy, the universe says yes, you are unworthy. If you say you are bright, the universe says yes, you are. You are so bright. Do you see what I'm saying? Your thoughts that you focus on becomes manifest. So today your life is a prayer. It is your worship. So what I want to share with you some examples of what I mean by that. Give you a simple example and a more complex example. My niece, just hanging, looking crazy. You guys didn't tell me I had my mask just hanging off? Just looking. Seriously? Oh, okay. So my nephew came to visit up to my sister's house last week. Got into a bit of an accident with his motorcycle. And so his wife came up from Waco and drove him back home. So when he got into the accident, my brother-in-law took him to the hospital. And it wasn't even a sprain. It was just a twist. It wasn't a big deal. But he couldn't walk on the leg. So my brother-in-law brought him back to the house and got all of his insurance papers, for the car, for the motorcycle, for his health insurance, for his drugs. got all that together, his license, and took it to take care of the business that he needed so that when he was ready to go home, he'd have everything with him. He wouldn't have to go around. So my brother-in-law got all that paper, stuck it in his visor, and was starting to go around. And when he got back home, he couldn't find the driver's license. It's like, I know, I stuck everything up there. And his thinking was, well, maybe it just, when I put it up, it just fell down. And, it should be on the floor. So he's looking all around the car, he cannot find it, and now he's worried because he doesn't want to have lost his nephew's license. So we go back, he comes back to my sister's house, and my nephew is there with his children. And his young son, his name is Cam. And I think he's 9 years old, 9 or 10. And when my brother-in-law told my nephew, Trey, that he'd lost the license, and I think it's somewhere in the car, my nephew said, oh, send Cam out to the car. He finds everything. He's our bloodhound, okay? He's our bloodhound. He finds everything. And when he said that, Cam's face just lit up. He owned that. That is something he claims. So my brother-in-law took him out to the car and opened the door. He got on one side, and the kid got in on the other side. My brother-in-law starts to look around, and the kid said, found it. Found it. My brother's like, how in the, what? That's a simple example. Yeah, your mom is the same way? Your mom is the same way, yeah. And that is a matter of what happens is, what goes on in your mind prior to you going to find something. What happens to my husband, Jason, is just always running through his head, oh my God, I've lost it. I can't find it. That's running through his head. It does. What runs through Cam's head is, he's a finder. He finds everything. And so he found it. Do you see what I mean? What you think about draws what you need into your life so that what you're claiming becomes a yes. Whatever it is becomes a yes. So a more complex example of that is that when I've been a counselor, I've counseled, worked in LA as a peace officer, and I work with a lot of gang members, and I did a lot of counseling. Those who wanted to get out of the gangs, who wanted to do something different, have a different life, their families, their girlfriends, a lot of things. And of course, as a minister, there's a lot of counseling going on. Here's the thing. How much experience can one person have, right? I've traveled a lot. I have a lot of experience, but I don't have all experiences. So someone coming to me, I may not know what they're going through. I may not know that. But here's what I say. I to help and to serve. So the prayer, because thoughts are prayers, the thought that is in my mind when someone comes to me and says they'd like to talk, they have an issue, they want to talk with me. Whether they are in this group or not, it doesn't matter. I pray beforehand. And I say, George, tell me what I need to say here or not say here. What do I need to do here? And here is an affirmation that I say all the time, every single day. I am inspired by Spirit. I have I think 30 affirmations that I say every single day, and that's one of them. I am always inspired by Spirit. So I walk in and I know that whatever I need to say, whatever that person needs to hear from me or not hear from me, because maybe I'm just listening to their story. Maybe that's all there is. That's what's going on in my head, and it is always a joyous experience. Okay? So this is the point of that conversation is this. How much can you possibly know? Even in your own life, even if you were a world traveler and you had millions of dollars, there's too much on this planet and off the planet. You can't possibly know everything. But because presence is omnipotent, all-powerful, omnipresent, everywhere present, okay? And I can never say this word, omniscient, all-knowing. That's the word, thank you. my college professor, she's back there telling me, no. But this one was a thumbs up. Omniscient. So Spirit is with you all the time, has all the power, all the information that you need. All you have to do is trust it. Trust the voice that is within you telling you what you need to do right now. And that is the hardest thing for us to do. But here's how you do it. You rely on a past experience to show you the way. Everyone in here, I'm positive that everyone in here, and hopefully that's not my phone trying to talk to me right now, everyone in here has an experience of knowing something that you don't know how you knew it. You just did. And what you want to do is reflect on that experience, whatever that is. You knew to call somebody, and when you called them, they thought, oh my God, I was just thinking of you. I wanted to talk with you. You have an experience of your mom is always, she just keep pointing to his mom. Let me have you talk. You have a lot of experiences. You have an experience of knowing something that you should not have necessarily known. To take an umbrella when it's bright and sunny outside. Something says, take an umbrella. And you want to argue, but you've learned not to. And you take it. And you're the only one out there with a huge umbrella when it starts to rain. Because nobody else thought it would, but Spirit told you. Okay? These things happen all the time, and we just simply want to trust that. So if you believe that God is source and supply, God is source and supply, and that God is a universal law, not an entity, so it's always going to work no matter who is praying. Law works. And that we co-create our lives with God, and thoughts become manifest. How then do these beliefs, knowing these four things, how do they help us manifest our lives? How does that work? How does it work? So I'm going to use a friend who told me a story last week about wanting a week off. She said, I need a week off. Now, how many of us said that? You're taking a week off. I mean, hello. But, right? We need some time off. But here's the thing. If you are a person who has a work ethic, it's hard. And when you're doing something that you love, that you know is service, that you know is helping, it's difficult to take the time off for yourself. That's one of the things that we know as caregivers, and all of us are caregivers at one point or another, how to take time for ourselves. It feels selfish. It feels selfish. And so we just think, okay, I need a time off. I need some time off. So she thought that simple idea. I want some time off. And this is how time off came about. This was out in the atmosphere. I want some time off. So what happened was, she tripped, sprained her ankle, got some time off. A whole week. Doctor said, take a week off. She said, all right. There's my week. Okay? Now, some of you are asking, why does she need to sprain her ankle? How come it just couldn't get time off? Because it doesn't make any difference. Here's what happened. She noticed and she recognized that I put it in the atmosphere. I want time off. And she got the time off through a sprained ankle. So now the next time she puts it out there, see, because we get to evolve our understanding, right? The next time she puts it out there, she can just say, I need some time off and I don't want to be hurt doing it. Right? I deserve some time off and I want it to be easy. We just learn how the way we communicate, and it's all about your individualized communication with Spirit, right? I can stand here and tell you all day long what George and I talk about. But you know from having heard my stories that I have messed up a great deal, that I have asked for things, and God has said yes. And then I've thought, damn, I didn't really want that. And I get to change it. I get to change it. I get to adjust it. I say, oh, okay, I did ask for that. I didn't put myself in the middle of it. So let me, next time I do. I wanted to take a trip. A friend of mine and I we were beginning to write music, and we wanted to start traveling with our music to different Unity churches and Science of our New Thought churches throughout the country. And so we had an opportunity to take a trip. I had no money, and we were just going to get in her van and go. But I had no money. And so I said to George, George, this is exactly what I said. We're going to be closing on a house, soon that we've been wanting to get rid of. We want to close on the house. So as soon as that house closes, and I stopped in the middle of that because I realized I was putting limitations on how George was to bring it to me. I don't need to do that. The how is not our business. Do you get that? I was getting involved in how the money should come. And I actually, in the middle of that prayer, said, King's X. King's X, that's not what I want. All right, here's what I want. I want the money to travel with my friend, and I want it now. Boom. That's it. That's what I said. The mailman came, I'm not kidding. I had a check in the mail from someone who heard me speak and just wanted to tithe to me. Enough money for me to travel. It happens quick. You don't have to wait. Some things happen quick. Some things it takes time for. Do you understand that we are all individualized expressions of God? We are the movement, the actions, the knowledge, all of that of God. So when I ask for something, there might need to be several people that need to move around and get some things done before it gets to me. But what I know is this. Here's what you know for sure. You speak it, it is done. Period. Now people ask me, do you need to keep praying? You don't need to. If you pray, it's done. If you want to remind yourself that you've done it, if you feel comfortable praying again, go ahead. There's no harm in praying again, but there's no need because it is done. Once you speak it, it's done. It is done. Okay? So more praying on the same thing is just comfort for yourself. That's all it is, and that's okay. There's no problem there. So as we see our thoughts manifest, we get to adjust what manifests into our lives, if we do or don't like it. That's the evolutionary part, yeah? We get to adjust, we get to clarify, we get to see how powerful our words are and be purposeful and intentional about what we say, what we ask for, what we expect in our lives. So how does what we believe inform our lives? Our Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, that's a fundamental Trinity. Our Trinity is thoughts go into law, becomes manifest. Thoughts, law, manifestation. That's it. It begins with the thought, so it's very, very powerful. So what does it mean when we say thoughts become manifest? We've just talked about that. Whatever you're thinking, focusing on. Again, not random thoughts like, gosh, it's so hot, it wouldn't rain. You're not going to have the power to make it rain. Right? That's not going to happen. Probably. Could. I don't want to limit spirit. Or you, for that matter. That's the limitation of my thoughts. But what you focus on, the reason that is powerful is because if you know that, you have control over your own life. There's nothing outside of you that is controlling your life. You are. And to me, that is a powerful thought. That means I don't get to blame someone. There's no one out there working on messing up PJ's life. Believe me, no one thinks of me that often. Nobody cares. Nobody's waking up saying, let me see what I can do to mess up PJ's life. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. All right? So it's me. Whatever is happening in my life, if something happens because of something I ran into someone about, it's how their lives are going. It's just what their thoughts are, and I happen to run into that. That's all. And I get to change that, either step away from them or whatever it is. But they're not running my life. So that's powerful to me when I understand that thoughts are things. And also I want you to understand that it's a reciprocal universe. Just an aside thing, but a very powerful thing. It's a reciprocal universe, meaning what you give, you get. Yeah? What you give, you get. You cannot give what you don't know, what you don't have. If you want love, give it. If you want money, give it away. Do you understand? Whatever you want, give it. It comes back to you, pressed down, tenfold. That is the promise of God, that what you give, God will return to you 100-fold. So what you want, it's a reciprocal universe. Again, the universe does not judge what you're giving. So if you're giving something you don't want, you will get that back in return. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you give ugly, if you give impatience, if you are not compassionate, compassion doesn't come back to you. If you are compassionate, compassion comes back to you. Do you understand? So, because the universe is reciprocal, it's not judging it, it's what you're doing. It's what you're doing. So if you're seeing something coming into your life that you don't want, think about what you're putting out. Think about what you're putting out. Again, it gives you control over your life. That's all it is. Control over your life. God is source and supply. So what does that mean? God is source and supply. Again, I've had so many people in my life over the jobs I've had lots of jobs, lots of situations. I'll give you a specific one, actually. When I went over to, I was in Vietnam and Thailand. I wanted to do music, and I'd never formed my own band. I'd been in a band, but I'd never actually formed or managed my own band. So I went over to Phuket, Thailand, and I said, I want to put a band together. So I know that as a musician, if you want to find other musicians, you just find a jam in town. There's always a jam session in town. So you just go to a jam, you meet people. And so I told them, hey, I'm new in town, I'm going to start, I want to put a band together, and I'm going to make X amount of money. This is what I want to do, and this is what I want to pay. And people were telling me, the musicians in town and other people were telling me, oh, nobody's going to pay money. You're not going to be able. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Because that's not my reality. Before I went, I asked Spirit to help me with this, that this is what I want. I want a band. I want to make enough money where we can support ourselves and play in great places. This is all the stuff I asked for. So I knew already it was going to happen. God is source and supply, the power of that. None of the things that those people were telling me bothered me because they are not my source. They are not your supply. What other people tell you about your vision, they don't have the vision. It's your vision. They don't have any information. All they can tell you about is what they haven't been able to do, not what you in Spirit can do. That is why God is source and supply is so powerful to know and to own in your life when other people are telling you what's not possible. That is why it's important. So God is source and supply. We co-create. That means we are in control. And it's also the big R word, which is what? Responsible. We are responsible. Nobody else to blame for the way our life turns out. All right? No, it's not comfortable for a lot. A lot of people want to blame. It's the devil. It's, out there. But that's not what we believe. We don't believe it's out there. We believe it's right in here with us. And so that means that we take on responsibility for our lives. That's what we do. So if your walk is your worship, and it is, your life is a prayer, then whatever your life is, you can look at what it is you're praying for, what it is you're thinking about all day long. And you get to change it if you don't want it there. You get to evolve and clarify, or you get to keep it if you like. These are the choices that we get to make. So what do we do? The thing is this, I don't believe that I'm necessarily telling you anything new. What my job is, I believe, is to remind you of what you already know. How powerful you are in your own life to create the life you want. You are gifted and talented. You are individualized expression of the divine. Everything you need is available to you at every moment of your life. It is available. You just claim it, name it, and claim it. Name it and claim it because that's how powerful your thoughts are. So daily, 2 things I do, and I ask you to think about doing to remember who you are. It's a daily meditation. I get up every morning. I advise people to get up every morning early before the world wakes up and crowds in on you, and have a relationship with Spirit within, just to remind yourself of who you are and what is available to you right here, close as your heartbeat. It reminds you of what's possible. I do affirmations. I do 30 of them. I'm going to give you 4 of them, or I think I have 3 here right now, that I say. I am invokes God. God is the I am, right? So when you say I am, you're invoking that Spirit within. I am relaxed, calm, and at peace this day. Do you know how many chaotic nonsense comes up in a day that you could get involved in? But to say this affirmation in the morning reminds me I have the power to keep peace in my life every day. I don't have to get involved in the chaos. I am calm, relaxed, and at peace this day. Number 2, I am guided and directed into perfect right action. I am guided and directed into perfect right action. And number 3, and this is not in order of of their importance, it's just I am an individualized expression of the divine, which means the power and the character of God is in me, is in you. Remind yourself of that each day and then go about your day. Go about your day. You'll see the change. Your walk is your worship. It's a celebration of life. And I want to read a quote from a civil rights leader that we lost this week that David talked about during his meditation, John R. Lewis. He said this: you are a light. You are the light. Never let anyone, any person, any force dampen or dim or diminish your light. Study the path of others to make your way easier and more abundant. That is what we do here. We're just talking about principles, giving you some examples of how life can be, so that you can make your life more perfect and more abundant according to you, according to what you want in your life. That is what we do together. If thoughts are prayers and thoughts become manifest, then your life is a prayer and your life is a celebration. Namaste.
Now is the time for our giving. If you want, you can text to 84321 and then put in your information. You can go on the website. There's a contribute button. So there's more than one way to give. You can also mail a check to Harmony. So with that being said, let's say our prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful.
Oh God, I've been through many hard times and more struggles than I can say. It seems the earth can be such a dark place. I seek illumination when I pray. Oh, won't you hear me, Lord? Shine your light on me. Shine your light on me. Shine your light on me, Lord. Shine your light on me. To receive your light, I go within. And quiet thoughts of dark despair, I I open space to let your light shine in, revealing things I never knew were there. I open to let you shine your light in me. Shine your light in me. Shine your light in me, Lord. Shine your light in me. Show me what inside is casting shadows. Release what blocks the light and darkness grows. Now energized by the power of light, I can do your work to and fro. Darkness behind me, I'm now a mirror, reflecting your light everywhere I go. This God I am is to shine your light through me. Shine your light through me. Shine your light through me, Lord. Shine your light through me.
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 I am a gleaming
Shine your
beacon with your light. Shine your light through me. Shine your light through me, Lord. Shine your light through me. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sean Earl, Igor Parshin. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Jason and Sean and Igor, for that wonderful song. Jason, you write some awesome music. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Mother, Father, God, sweet, sweet Spirit, we are blessed. We thank you for the gifts, tithes, offerings, and may we use them in the world. And as a reminder, we do tithe. In June, we gave $525 to Safe Haven and $359 to the Union Gospel Mission. So we practice tithing at Harmony. But thank you, everybody, for all you give. You're up next, Connie. Your announcements, and then they'll do that.
The announcements that I have to do. The announcements that I have today are the classes that we do during the week, as well as in addition to our Sunday sacred service. On Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, we do something called Love and Lunch. We just kind of like get together, and all of these are listed on our August newsletter. In July. Okay, that's right. It's not August yet. Heat, go away. And we just kind of all just get together and find out what's going on and just talk, and you get to see a face. Makes it very nice. Wednesday night on the 2nd and 4th, Pat does a cooking show, and it's really a lot of fun. I'm going to go this Wednesday night and be a participant of one. She does it on Facebook Live at 6 o'clock, okay? And Pat said that on all of the spiritual classes or services that they have, Unity, Grapevine, Saxy, and us, everything is the same. If you'll go and look at each one of them, they are all doing the same thing, except Pat's cooking show. And she said, I can't look at her. She's hysterical. But she says that's an awful lot of fun, and it gets people to watch. On Thursday afternoon, we do Foundation in Truth. We're on a break right now, and it starts again the first Thursday night in August. And each day, we do meditation at 7:30 in the morning, which is a wonderful way to start your day. And Jason Earle's birthday is the 28th, and he's the only one that's not passed. So I think we need to sing happy birthday to Jason Earle. Thank you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jason. Happy birthday to you. Now, we're going to have fun with Facebook. Terry and Carter.
So we have lots of people with us today. Lots of folks here. We actually have 23 people here.
We're at our limit.
I can't count then.
Full house.
So, lots of folks here. Good number of folks online.
Yes.
Irene's online, Jim Anderson, and Delia, and Allison. 2 Allisons online. Allison Moorhead and Allison Lovejoy. Allie Lovejoy. Kathleen's online, Sandy and Ken, and Todd McCann, and John Leach. So lots of different people. Jim Alexander, Pat, and Glenn are on. So lots of folks that were with us today online.
And we've got Jolene is online. Hi, Jolene. And Delia and John. Carter's John. I'm just so excited to see more people here today. Great to see you. Love you. I wish I could hug you.
I also missed, let's see, we had Ellen, we had Carla, we also had, there's somebody else I missed. Okay, I think I caught everybody. So lots of people with us today, even if they're not with us today.
Oh, and there was 2 birthdays today that we got wrong. Ken and Sandy's birthday were this week.
This past weekend.
We'll have to get that correct
I
for
got
next
it.
year.
I have it correct on here.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
important.
Ken's birthday was Friday and Sandy's was Wednesday. So
All right.
I confess it was my bad.
Celebrations?
Yeah. So, and also coming up another birthday, Randy Thompson, his birthday is on the 30th.
Okay.
So, celebrations. Anybody out there in this audience have a celebration?
Okay, I have one.
Yeah, go Carter.
I survived 7 Microsoft Teams meeting in the same day on Friday.
Oh, my gosh.
Actually, if you guys didn't hear this week,
Yeah.
they rescinded the rule. Harvard, MIT, the University of California system, and a bunch of other schools had actually signed up to sue the government over that rule. So the rule was rescinded. So our foreign students,
Yay, Igor.
Which includes Igor, our pianist.
including Igor, don't forget.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, if y'all didn't know, Igor just got accepted to the PhD program.
Yeah. Yeah. And he has 3 master's degrees.
Yes,
Now he's working on a doctorate. I mean,
Yep.
cool. So,
And he's blushing.
but while we're celebrating, I also celebrate Aaron and Jim because this thing wouldn't be online if it weren't for you guys.
Right.
So I really appreciate that.
Wonderful.
I got a celebration, too. I want to celebrate our Reverend PJ. She is working tirelessly to keep us together and keep us focused. I can't get up as early in the morning as everybody else can, but when I go on a break from work, I listen to that meditation, and that is how I get back in my body, because there's a lot of tension, a lot of worry in the head, and she has a gift. So if you want to go onto our website, on the Facebook page, they are listed there. The meditations are amazing. I share them all day long.
Thank you. So I mentioned this earlier. On Friday, C.T. Vivian passed, and then and John Lewis passed. And for those that might not know, C.T. Vivian, he was from the North, but he was from the 50s on. He was involved in the civil rights movement, and he was one of the original people that were riding the buses to integrate the buses and so forth. And then John Lewis. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine sitting and being beaten with a club in the head and not doing anything. That's not me. And he was hit in the head so many times. And on that one of the marches on the Eben Pettus Bridge in Selma, his skull was fractured. I mean, this is a guy who, with Dr. King, and they taught, love will overcome hate, and they practiced that all their lives. He stood up. He spoke truth to power, and a truly great American. And some of these statues that people don't want, let's put one up for John Lewis. Mm-hmm. So, because one of his most powerful traits was his capacity for forgiveness. He embraced one of the Ku Klux Klan members that actually beat him in the head on that bridge. Okay? Former President George Bush, who worked closely with John Lewis on getting this dream of John Lewis is the African American Museum on the National Mall. He worked on that for 15 years, and President Bush worked with him in getting that to come to fruition. And this is what President Bush said. As a young man marching for equality in Selma, Alabama, John answered brutal violence with courageous hope. Bush said in a statement, throughout his career as a civil rights leader and a public servant, he worked to make our country a more perfect union. America can best honor John's memory by continuing his journey toward liberty and justice for all. And I was actually texting with Ken Friday night, birthday stuff, and joking with him, and the ABC News special report came on, and they really did a good job on the report. But that reporter, who has covered lots of presidents and world leaders and all kinds of people, said John Lewis was the toughest, the most courageous, and the kindest man I've ever known. So may I aspire to follow his footsteps. With that being said, I just, I couldn't not celebrate these great people who God is with them, with us, and we march onward. And so with that, closing prayer before I choke up and cry. Sweet, sweet Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we thank you for the gifts that we have today in this room. We thank you for the gifted people you have blessed us with in our lives. And we claim that you are guiding us to go forward with light, peace, and love, and to share light, love, and peace and love with each person we come across. So it is.
So it is.
So let's stand and sing our closing song.
Get up, move around a little bit.
That's right.
Get those joints moving. Even you at home, stand up. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now. Have a great week. Woo! Take that into your
And
heart.
use the hand cleaner. Protect yourself. Wear your
Hand
mask.
cleaner on the table.
Great mask, Carter.
My decision, right here and now. Thank you all for being here today.